If people or students believe that Hahnemann's greatest discovery was homeopathy, they've neither understood the genius of Hahnemann nor have they understood homeopathy. And I'm here to share the secrets of my success with you. I've been teaching and practicing homeopathy in India and in Europe for the last 21 years. These 2 hours of my free webinar are definitely going to be a life-changing experience for you. So please do sign up. Many homeopaths all over the world will claim that they are classical homeopaths. Now, what is classical homeopathy? That's my fundamental question. Is classical homeopathy the homeopathy that was taught by Hahnemann, which he himself has agreed was flawed? Or is it homeopathy which is taught by C.M. Boger, homeopathy taught by Kent, or homeopathy taught by the today's so-called modern stalwarts? What is classical homeopathy? For me, classical homeopathy is nothing but homeopathy which has a deep understanding of chronic diseases and of miasms, without which everything is unclassical. Hence, I am saying we must now try to unlearn what we've learned. Hahnemann's greatest discovery. Now, I have had very interesting and intriguing responses from all over the world. Some said, obviously it is the law of similars. Hahnemann's greatest discovery is homeopathy. Some said, no, Hahnemann's greatest discovery was drug dynamization. Some said it is drug proving. Some said it is the repertory. And some said it is the direction of cure. So in 1796, Hahnemann gave to the world his discovery of homeopathy. And we all know Hahnemann was a true genius. He was a fantastic linguist. He could read and write 10 languages. Hahnemann was an inventor. Hahnemann was a master in public health and hygiene. Hahnemann is also what is considered the father of modern psychiatry. Hahnemann was a chemist and Hahnemann was also a pharmacologist. Even after having discovered this beautiful science of homeopathy, Hahnemann was constantly stumbling with his results. The only reason being that whenever he was using this law of symptom similarity, the patients used to get better for a while, but the patients used to come back with the same symptoms after a few years. This led Hahnemann to think that there is something incomplete about the discovery of homeopathy. He first questioned the law of similars itself. Then Hahnemann thought that his patients keep coming back because not many remedies have been proved. He started questioning the methodology of drug proving itself. He started questioning the investigative procedures. Because when Hahnemann gave the discovery of homeopathy in 1796, even a compound microscope was not at his disposal. Or he thought maybe there are some unforeseen causes which create a block in the patient's cure and hence they keep coming back. So from 1796 till about 1828, Hahnemann was constantly experimenting, was constantly self-criticizing, and constantly meditating on what could be this block in the patient's cure. Even his nearest disciples and his dearest students were unaware of the dilemma that was in Hahnemann's mind. And eventually, in 1828, when Hahnemann disclosed to the world his greatest discovery, he said that even my students will not understand this today, and it will take a lot of time for mankind to understand this advanced and the best discovery that I've made. And what was it? After years of penance, in 1828, Hahnemann gave to the world his book of chronic diseases. In his book of chronic diseases, Hahnemann clearly mentions the fundamentals of miasms, or as we better know them as genetic tendencies. Hahnemann has penned down his thoughts in the lesser writings, which were later published by Dudgeon in 1852. Now, unfortunately, most schools and colleges have completely missed on this concept. Hahnemann says that without the understanding of miasms to every case, it is impossible to get results. In India, till we finish our master's course, we spend about 9 years studying homeopathy. In these 9 years, I did not see any importance having given to this concept or the fundamental of miasm, which is one of the most important cardinal principles of homeopathy. And hence, I really question, with deep regret, the quality of learning that is offered to students. When Hahnemann himself said that without the application of miasms, homeopathy is flawed or homeopathy is incomplete, how can we just study homeopathy and get great results in our patients? How can we expect the modern sciences to accept us when we are ourselves flawed? So here, I would refer our viewers of today to the 6th edition of Organon in aphorism number 74. So obviously, this deserves a completely separate webinar. So please be in touch with us, please be in contact, and we will keep you posted. Now there are some homeopaths who only prescribe on mental symptoms. They go deep into illusions and delusions and hallucinations and whatnot, without having the basic concept of miasms. Then there are some homeopaths who give specific remedies or medicines aimed at specific symptoms. For example, a left eyebrow headache or twitching sensation in your right palm, and then there is a specific remedy for that. And there could be millions of symptoms with millions of specific remedies. Then there are some schools of thought which even mix several remedies together. Then there are some homeopaths which prescribe back flower remedies. Then there are some homeopaths who give you 12 tissue remedies. And there are some homeopaths who give you constitutional remedies. And there are homeopaths who prescribe only on pathology. Now, each of these schools of thought have their own advantages and disadvantages. Now, let me mathematically clarify this to you. Here you are seeing a chart. On the left hand side, no matter which school of thought you are following, you will get some kind of results. And I'm talking about processes like eliminations, processes like excretions, or processes like reversible depositions. And here are some examples of what I'm trying to say. So any kind of cold, cough, coryza is a process of excretion. Any kind of itis, it could be tonsillitis, it could be pharyngitis, rhinitis, neuritis, so on and so forth, are inflammatory processes. And any school of thought will give you some kind of result. Then there are processes of reversible deposition. Obviously, this requires again a separate webinar, and we will get into it, but I'm giving you a brief outline at the moment. Any case of reversible deposition, let's say take a case of jaundice or take a case of stress-induced gout. Now, even in these cases, with any of these methods, you will get some or the other kind of result. Patient will be palliated for a while, patient will feel better for a while. But when the real skill of an expert is tested, or this is what separates the ordinary from the master prescribers, is when you start giving results in cases of irreversible deposition, which is also called as impregnation. Your skill is tested when you start giving results in cases which are degenerative. It could be apolysis or apoptosis. Sometimes we also call them autoimmune diseases. Examples being psoriasis, gangrenes, vitiligos. Obviously, in psoriasis, you will see many homeopaths claiming a good result, because psoriasis, unfortunately, or let's say fortunately, has periods of remissions. Psoriasis by itself gets better for a while and itself aggravates. When psoriasis gets better by itself, homeopaths claim that they have cured it, till the patient comes back with the same problem after a couple of months or after a year. This exactly was Hahnemann's dilemma. My dear viewers, I cannot emphasize this enough. This is exactly where the skill of a homeopath is tested. So every case, and especially I'm referring to chronic diseases, every case that comes to me must be a mathematical equation. Because without having a mathematical equation or a structure, I do not proceed in life. So if you look at this chart, I've divided this into 3 vertical columns, each of them having 7 elements. So altogether 21 elements. So till I get the most important inputs into all of these elements, I do not proceed. Only when a case is mathematical am I comfortable, and only then do I prescribe. In today's world, everything is dependent on softwares. And we all know that all these software are based on a binary equation. So which means it is 0 or it is 1, which means something is not there or something is there. And the most advanced softwares, which are also able to handle satellites up in the space, are based on this. I try to apply the same principle of binary equation to homeopathy. I also call it the elimination method. So the chart that I have shown you with those 21 elements, for me it's very important that is it there or is it not there? Is it a positive or a negative? And hence I am saying that education must be entertaining. If these things are taught to me bookishly, I would obviously bunk that class and do something else that entertains me. That's exactly what is missing in our education system, that they make education very boring. Education has to be full of fun and has to be full of entertainment. This we will definitely do in the webinar that we are going to do on miasms. This webinar won't instantly change you into a star homeopath. I am not here to give you get rich quick techniques, but I am that passionate gardener who knows how to nurture a plant so that it bears beautiful flowers and bears sweet fruits.